I'm joined by Meenakshi Lekhi, India's Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture. Thanks for joining us on WION. My first question to you is there is a strong push to make India a global manufacturing hub. In fact, tech companies are reducing their reliance on China and shifting to India. What is the plan to make India a manufacturing superpower?
So, manufacturing services or manufacturing cables. There are two aspects to even cyberspace. One is the physical network, a physical infrastructure, and the other is the digital or the so-called software and the hardware part. So I think India needs to step up, which the world is looking at, for the simple reason we are a trusted partner for any technological collaboration. We don't wish to get into somebody's system. We are people who are happy providing services, and also the way we have built our own system is accessibility is something we have all worked upon. At the same time, security by design is the simple aspect of what we do. So it's open, accessible, and yet secure. And secure because nobody can intervene into your system. So data protection to digital footprints are not marked. And in that sense, we are a trusted partner. We all understand that two-way interventions happen. One is, of course, through the software mechanism, and other is through the hardware mechanism. So we are not into the game of ceding or interfering or autocratic power, getting into people's system and use technology as a lever to control politics of other countries. In fact, we want global public goods and global public infrastructure to be made available to the world at large, so that inclusion, what people talk about, we have showcased and we have built a template as to how, with speed and scale, one can achieve that.
I totally get your point, and I would like to take this opportunity to ask you something that is really crucial. The India Canada relationship is going through a difficult phase. What impact do you think it could have on the bilateral trade?
Not much, because many a times the deeper relationships have far deeper meaning, and people need to understand where our security concerns, both in the physical term as well as in the outer space or the cyberspace, come from, and countries need to respect that.
And let's shift our focus to something that many people would like to know. India is being referred to as Bharat on many occasions. Why is it important to build a Bharat narrative?
The Bharat is my name. And when India has turned 75 and we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and we are wanting to become that India which gave equality, fraternity to the world, we need to go back to our roots, who we are, and understand our perspective, understand our history, understand what we stood for, understand the technological interventions which India made and gave to the world. So we all know the narratives get to be built by the victorious and not by the ones who got vanquished. So in that sense, we need to build our own narrative of an independent India and independent thinking country.
And I have the last question for you. The global tech race is getting highly competitive. In fact, India is advocating for technological self reliance. What's the way forward?
So global tech is getting competitive. One doesn't fear the competition. What one fears is the manipulation. And we've all understood that whether it's AI or it's deepfake or it's data protection itself or data is gold, etc., etc., the country's interests and citizens' interests need to be protected, and India will do whatever it has to protect its own country's interests. We look forward to cooperation amongst the light thinking nations, because the global vulnerability was showcased during COVID 19, not just in terms of services, but also in terms of all kinds of things. So those vulnerabilities need to be worked upon. Three, four major challenges for the global governance I can think of is secure, because it's become borderless. Cyberspace is borderless. It doesn't recognize the national boundaries. And from that perspective, we need to cooperate with each other. Cyberspace is used by terrorists to propagate their point of views and to even have fundamental ways of working, fundamentalists using technology to leverage brainwashing techniques. So we need to cooperate there. Non-state actors using technology to communicate, we need to work there. The cables on which 99% of the internet's transactions are happening are undersea cables, disruption of the undersea cables, disruption of technology itself, supply chain mechanisms. So I think on all these spaces, we have to work with like-minded governments and develop a resilient infrastructure. And India has showcased to the world that we have built security in our technology through UPI, through BHIM, and everything else, where by design these are secure technologies, and we do not interfere as a policy in other countries' governance.
In your previous answer, you mentioned two very important things. One is deepfake, and the other is that internet knows no boundaries. In fact, deepfakes of various Indian celebrities are going viral on the internet. So, what is the plan? How we are going to deal with this issue?
No, again, then rule of law. Rule of law, not just in physical space, in cyberspace also. So if you're doing a deep fake, say it's a deep fake. It's like having a warning on a cigarette pack that it can cause cancer. It is harmful to your health, but if you want to use it, you're free to do that. You are using it for entertaining purpose, it's okay. But it's a deep fake. It's not the truth. That's where you're not maligning people's reputation. So I think there has to be a greater understanding and cooperation from all right-minded people.
Thanks for sharing such valuable thoughts. It was great to have you on Beyond.
Thank you.